No.
You're gonna have to re-record, honey.
I know. I just. Welcome back to another episode of Porch Thoughts. This is your host, Brandon, and today I am joined here with our guest of honor, who is my wife, my newlywed wife. Say hello, newlywed wife.
Hello.
And we're also joined by a third guest, and that third guest is my future daughter, who is in the belly of my wife. Say hello, future daughter. Her name is Kaya. I'm literally rubbing this on your belly. I really am. And I'm going to keep it in there, and I don't care. So I just want to kind of get to the chase with this. It's been a while since I've actually did anything on any of my social media or my YouTube or made an episode or actually posted anything to update on my Spotify, but I just been on a long hiatus. Been busy, had a lot of life changes. Like I just said, my future wife and my future child, which it's very exciting. But I got a lot of things planned out. This is going to be the last episode of this season, so I just wanted to close it out. And soon I'll have another episode recorded for the second season, which I'll drop pretty soon. But without further ado, let's get into this. Let's start. We have some topics. Pretty much the first topic is done, which is life updates. So let me check that off the board right here. All right. So first topic we have is navigating through marriage and early parenthood.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna let you take the wheel. You hadn't really spoken too much, except for oh boy, and quick one-liners and quips. So I want you to.
Hi guys. Anyone who knows me, by the way, my name is Jordan. Anyone
Jordan
who knows
Holston.
me really well, Jordan Holston.
Don't want to get confused with the other Jordan Russell, but Jordan Holston.
Anyone who knows me really well knows once I get to talking, I usually talk a long time. So
yes, and that's why we don't have very many topics today, because we know we can make these last.
But just navigating through marriage and early parenthood is a lot for any of you new parents or newlyweds in the world. It is a very big challenge, especially if just getting used to new things like living together and smelling people's stanky clothes. And,
wait, they didn't even know.
Just learning how to communicate with one another. But it's been a really good experience so far. I will say one of the things that really has helped us kind of navigating through everything and getting to really just learn how to respect one another, learn how to talk to one another is just, putting in communication first, more importantly, and then learning how to trust one another. Because I think one of the biggest things that I struggled with before being married was trust. And this one thing that, it takes time to really start developing with people that you care about, but it's difficult whenever you're still just trying to figure out life and figure out who's really there for you and who's not, who really has those intentions of really wanting to be everlasting than versus, just here for a good time, not a long time.
And that's a lot of things that I feel that younger people nowadays, and I guess maybe some older people too, because I know some older people who are just in that dating stage. A lot of days, loyalty and love are like the two things that are kind of hard to kind of maintain at least from what I've noticed from an outsider's perspective. Not a lot of people have a lot of commitment. And then some people just date because it feels like it's a game. It's not taken as serious all the time like it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. I do feel that for some people, trust can be built by being with someone before marriage. I know it's different between me and you, and I think it also comes from like values in life.
Mm-hmm.
But it also comes from your comfortability and what boundaries you are comfortable with kind of breaking throughout the different stages. Like I'm.
I'm
I've
not quite the notifications. Sorry.
I've been a person who, I mean, of course, it's you as well, with being both military dependents at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
We've learned to adapt to change, but I mean, I've came from a household where there was nothing but change all the time. You know, just
Right.
change in how we operated on our daily basis, change in, you know, when certain primary family members were there, change in just how we navigate through difficult time frames. You know, we've all dealt with a lot of change, so I've learned that, like, doing things a little differently than what people say to do it, like with moving in with someone before marriage. I don't necessarily think that is a bad thing. I feel like some people kind of rely on that because they kind of are able to test throughout that time frame.
Yeah.
You know, that trust that they can start adapting to.
Start
You
building
know,
it.
those boundaries being broken. Like, okay, this person has seen me throughout a difficult time frame. This person has worked with me. This person is committed to, you know, just
Right.
being that, you know, supporter for me. And I've learned how to be what that person needs as
Right.
well.
And people have a different way that they operate, and
Yeah.
you know, I operated differently when I was in my
Mm-hmm.
dating stages, and also had my personal perspective on things that I don't want to get into right now because I don't have a whole lot of time. But you know, I can definitely see how it could be beneficial for some
Yeah.
relationships. But
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, with every good thing has a downside to it.
Yeah.
But just with like the new age and how people date, it's just very different.
It is.
Kind in a perspective, in a sense, because some people say it isn't, and some older people say that it isn't that different. But I don't know. I think it does have some differences.
I
What do you
think it's more so like the intrapersonal. I hope I'm using the right word. The intrapersonal, like, relationship, like dating people, and not be so like technology.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Like,
you know, like
Tinder.
yeah. Well, I mean, not even just Tinder, because I mean, you can meet someone off of Tinder, and then, like, I mean, it's not necessarily my personal pick, but I have met some couples that have met off of Tinder, and they've been married for more than double digit, or they've been married for double digit years. So it's just like
more than double digits. That's 3 digits. Ain't no way.
I don't know about
Ain't no
if
way.
Tinder was there for that long, but you know, I think it just once you get out of the comfortability of being behind, you know, it's and it for me it's technology. I don't like, you know, just being behind technology. I don't want to just be texting you. I want to be able to, like, to see you and actually build a connection. I actually want to do things with you so I can learn you,
Like go somewhere
and accept
get
you
dinner.
for you. You know, set differences, which is another thing. It's just one thing that has been helping us navigate through, you know, marriage so far, as accepting differences. And although, you know, some people are interesting, you know,
some people are also very interesting too.
well, I mean, I'm a class act.
Yeah, hey, nothing wrong with a class act.
But it's definitely just embracing differences, embracing different ideas, embracing different, you know, interests helps with breaking a lot of boundaries in life. Now, with the early parenthood, I think the one thing that for those lady viewers out there, one thing that I really encourage highly, which is something I've never been able to do until I became pregnant, is patience. Patience is the key, especially.
Right. I do have some things I want to talk about with that. As I was about to say, you know, with, you know, navigating through marriage and also early stages, you know, with dating, you want to get to the point where you're married.
Yeah.
That was my goal. I wanted to marry you. And of course, you know, with that came not only do I want to be married, but I want children. So it's like, now that I'm in this spot where I'm married, about to have a kid, it's amazing. It really is. And honestly, I think that I wouldn't want it any other way with how things turned out. You know, a lot of people are just like, well, you know, they just have a different perspective of like, I don't feel like I need to be married to do that, or I need to be, and you need to be. I feel that you should be, and I feel like that's an easier. It's easier, honestly, and it's the best way. But like I said, everyone operates differently. Everyone thinks differently than I do, and you know, I can't tell no one what to do at the end of the day. But I mean, with all that, with being a parent almost, we're not even in the early stages of that.
No.
What are your thoughts on just like the early stages of almost being? We're like so early that like we don't even we know what the gender is, but we found out like Friday.
Well, so technically, for anyone who is a woman or whatever, you know, everything's different. We're living in a different age, but like anyone who is physically capable of going through
getting a
pregnancy, this is not what I'm going through right now. Is not the early stages. The early stages
is when the baby is born.
No, the early stages of pregnancy is those first 3 months. Like anyone.
Yeah, there is an early stage to that.
It's so terrible. I mean,
I don't know why I didn't think.
Yes,
that's like clearly I think, obvious right there.
I think once you get into the second trimester, some people just like totally forget about how that last trimester went. And I think it's because you finally get into this stage of peace and serenity, but like ladies, gentlemen, even, you know, for those supporting dads, for those supporting moms, oh my goodness, everything gets crazy after the first trimester. I mean, you get terribly sick. You can. Some people I know have never experienced, but 9 times out of 10, women do go through some type of illness. Whenever I first got pregnant, I had everything. Like, it was horrible. I had like a severe congestion. I had the Alzheimer's sickness, and it's not a real word, but that's what it felt like. Alzheimer's, like sick, like the all day sickness. It was not just some morning sickness. It was 24/7, 365. I had like horrible sciatic nerve pain, and I mean, I'm still navigating through some of that stuff. The nausea doesn't get, once you get into the second trimester, the nausea gets, you know, it gets a little bit more familiar. I feel like your body finally kind of gets to the stage of just slowing down a little bit. But ladies, once you get to the 5-month period and the baby starts to really start kicking, because at first they say it's flutters. Doctors lie sometimes. The flutter, they're not flutters. They feel like if you grew up in like the early 2000s, late 90s, or back, if you ever remember an uncle or a parent that thumped you in the head or in the mouth, that's exactly how it feels like. It feels like a thump, and it's not fun at all. And it's like, they're like, oh, you should feel this glow. Like, some people, they glow. Like, I adore Rihanna and how well she like was able to manifest pregnancy and make it look like something that like is so magical. Yeah, Rihanna is one of a million case, because
who doesn't happen
people
every day.
Like, exactly, because people people like me
go through the
I have never felt the glow. They're like, oh, your skin gets so good. My skin still looks like how I looked like whenever I was in high school. They're like, your hair should get so long and all this stuff. My hair is just as terrible as it was before I got pregnant. It's so do not believe in all the commercialization or the commercialism, whatever the word is, whatever it is. Do not believe in the commercial side of pregnancy. It can suck. It can really suck badly, but it is definitely worth it. And I think with really it's a difference between hearing things and letting it go out your ear like I did versus hearing things and really taking in consideration what people are saying. Whenever your OB says it's only going to get worse from here,
they're telling the truth.
They're telling the truth. It only gets worse, but it's all worth it though.
Oh,
and if you're small like me, like viewers, I'm 5'2.5". I am very short framed, and this baby already feels like it's way too big enough for me. So it's getting used to. You have to be patient with yourself, not only with the baby or dealing with stressors, but you also have to be patient with your body because, boy, these changes are not fun at all. I love them. I love to see, how my belly grows every single day. But it's not fun.
Well, I'll say this, and I'm probably going to experience it later on when the baby's actually out. I'm going to enjoy seeing my belly grow every day.
Well, hopefully.
No, I'm not going to enjoy that, honestly. I'm someone who, I'm wanting to be fit, and I do have weight issues and food issues as well, but I really want to try my best to kind of cut the best I can, but that's going to be hard, and it's really hard now just to not eat a whole lot, but I'm doing my best, and that's all I can do.
And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. You do your best, you're active somehow, some way.
Oh, speaking of which, viewers, just in case if you wanted to know the name of our baby girl, her name,
I said it in the beginning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, just to
remind you.
Her name is Kaya Danielle Marie. So,
beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, very beautiful name for a very chaotic child.
Very. But what are some things we are anticipating with Kaya Danielle Marie?
Oh, it's just
Holston.
I mean, there's just a lot that I'm just anticipating with our marriage. I'm anticipating the third trimester. Really, that's one of the biggest things because everybody's just like, everything changes. You think everything's crazy now. Get to the third trimester. It feels like the end of the roller coaster that it just feels like you're on a vortex and you just keep on going down and down and even more downer. It just gets crazy from there. And I'm just like, oh boy. And they're like, yeah. Like your hunger gets like increasingly more just it makes you feel like you're a vampire. Vampires they're just thirsty for more blood. Well, you're gonna be thirsty for more food, but your stomach is gonna tell you something differently. And it's like your baby tells you one thing, but your body tells you, hold on a second, you're already big as a hippo. Let's not try to get as big as the Empire State Building, okay? Let's just let's just stop there. So that's one thing I'm anticipating, but I'm honestly scared about because I've been told that I will possibly get bigger, and I'm already big enough for myself, and I'm just like, there's bigger from this. I'm already in the stages of waddling, so and that says a lot for me to be short, and I feel like a penguin. Like, have you ever seen Batman Returns? In the Danny DeVito penguin? That's how I feel like right now. So it's scary to know where I'm gonna be eventually soon. But I'm really ready for it though, because that means we get closer to having the little baby. Then you get to hear plenty of more episodes with her and her little thoughts and the hot mess she's gonna be.
She probably screaming like, put some auto tune on there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're anticipating? I mean, there's more that I can share, but
well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I'm kind of anticipating for things to kind of stay the same, like between what we have going on here, like with, well, hold on. Not like exactly the same.
Yeah.
Just what we have now. I just hope that, we're not too focused on like her to not acknowledge the love that we have for each other too. I mean, not saying like you're gonna choose the baby over me. I'm not trying to sound like that, but I don't know how to explain it in other ways.
Because whenever she's born, we're gonna feel like we're going into war together, and
so
we're combating this big old nuke that like keeps on calling for us.
I just hope that we still maintain this relationship that we've kind of built for the past almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Of just knowing each other, and that we just, we still happy. I still hear you singing in the shower. We make food together when we can. We get stuff ready for our baby too, and we take care of her. And we're able to still get through dishes and the chores, which I'm going to do my best to commit more to, because I need to do better. I still need to do better. We're
both
pregnant.
Carrying this child.
You're pregnant. I need to. Well, right now you're pregnant, and I'm not carrying the child yet.
You're carrying me. That's enough.
You and Kaya, I guess.
That's enough.
But,
so
another thing I'm anticipating, I guess, with the baby, I'm just anticipating for her to be here. I want to hold her. I want to love her. Yeah. I want her to meet her grandparents and great-grandparents. Yeah. Grandparents and great-great-great-grandparent.
There is none of those. Well, great, yes.
Great.
Because my well, it would be great, because my great-grandma still.
Right, but I said great like 3 times.
Oh, well,
So it's not that old. I don't know. I mean, it's possible.
It's possible.
Methuselah.
But for anyone out there, just a little side note, for anyone out there listening, Brandon is definitely probably more ready for this child than I am.
Oh yeah.
He is very for anybody who has ever had the experience of even being friends with him, like, he is very caring, very, very thoughtful. He puts a lot of emphasis and thought into every relationship that he has out there, and I mean, that's one thing that I'm really appreciative, is that I'm able to experience life now with someone who honestly cares about me and values what we're going through. I mean, of course, men are going to be men, women are going to be women. I mean, stereotypes are going to be stereotypes. Sometimes the stereotypes swap. Sometimes some men act like women, and sometimes some women act like men. And sometimes you're just going to get, on each other's nerves. Sometimes you're going to want to throw a pot or a cutting board of some sort.
I've been in all those situations. For all those men out there, I understand what you mean.
Not
all
the
married
pot.
Men who understand. I know what it is. I know how it feels. Yeah. I understand what everyone's talking about.
Not the pot. Not the cutting board. Maybe the pot.
And the knives.
Not the knives. Okay, I am not armed and dangerous, people.
She's pretty dangerous.
I'm not dangerous. It's the baby.
But yeah, I mean, another thing I was going to say that I'm anticipating for is just to see her grow. Oh, be able to have the privilege of raising her, and also anticipate teaming up and getting on your nerves.
Yes, they have. He has this fascination that eventually this child that he decided to have with me is going to come and bite him in the butt as well. But what he doesn't realize is once she comes out and she realizes that her mother is not going to let her get everything she wants, she's going to go to her dad and bug the snot out of him. And he's going to end up getting...
I'm not going to let her bug me, though. I'm going to be like...
she's going to bug you.
I'll cut my attention and be like...
she's going to bug you.
Baby, what you want? I got you, baby.
Okay, what if she says at the age of 5 years old, I want to have a boyfriend. There's this cute boy at daycare.
Don't speak that into existence. Do not speak that into existence.
He's ready for her to be a baby. He is not ready for the teenage stage, the stages that of a young female's life that truly
Yeah.
get to being interesting. That's what you got to worry about right there. Is those moments where she starts talking about, "Hey, Dad, I'm going through these changes," and you're just like, "Oh boy, what are you talking about?"
I'm not to tell her.
Well, I would have to tell her.
You would have to tell her.
Hopefully, I would be the one telling her.
Well, let's not get into that though. That's too explicit for YouTube. And everyone else, and also wouldn't want to talk about it either way. You can't get it out of me. Ha. So what would be, just kind of change, or go down to our last topic, I guess. What would be your advice to anyone who is in the early stages of dating? They wanna get married, but for some reason something's just kind of preventing them from doing it mentally. That they could probably just be like, yeah. What advice would you give to people who are wanting to get married but who aren't taking those steps to get married yet, or wanting to have a kid, or wanting to pursue big
experiences?
Pursue big experiences and life events.
The first thing that I would really encourage is mean what you say. I always tell people anything
these emails are not going to stop.
It's okay. It's okay, hon. That's Apple for y'all people. For you Apple lovers, that's Apple.
I still love Apple.
My HP doesn't usually make a bunch of woo-wop noises whenever I'm doing stuff.
Well, my computer does that, removes the wallpaper, so it's
just cool. So you know, these are the type of arguments we get
this
into
is,
as well.
This really
so
is, but what you're saying.
But just mean what you say when you say what you mean.
Yeah. Because
of the fact of, if you're really committed to something, it does it take time? Yes. Everything in life takes time. I feel like if you honestly appreciate it enough, you'll take the time to build up that relationship between you and that thing. Like, I'm also in school as well, and as much as I hate the fact that I'll be in school probably for almost the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. I feel the anticipation of every single semester that I work on. Yeah. I'm gonna do my best because it's something that I really want, and that's the way that you have to even approach your relationships in life. And it's not even just dating; it's just your friendships, your family. Yeah. Your relationship with yourself is mean what you say to yourself, right, and then say what you mean to yourself. Yeah. Be about what you feel like is best for you. And I think if you're with someone that honestly commits their self to you, honestly just is for you, like they want the best for you. Yeah. There's nothing better than to be with someone who wants the best for you and does the best towards you.
Absolutely.
And it's that, and being self-sacrificial. Yeah. You have to understand that in this life that we live, we only get one of them, and we can't necessarily only focus on what impacts us, because everything that we do in life, whether or not if we do it to ourselves or do it to others, everything we do in life impacts everyone else that is involved. So you have to really evaluate, being self-sacrificial, being, compromising sometimes. Like, there's times whenever I don't necessarily agree with something that Brandon has in mind, but Brandon is my partner in crime. He's my partner in life, so, if it's just a situation where I just feel like I just got to be like, okay, and I got to trust him, then, I just, we go about it. There's sometimes whenever I'm just like, hon, you know I'm right. Trust me. And he'll be like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just about sacrificing the pride, sacrificing, being right. And that's one thing that I've really been working hard on, is trying to learn how to accept being wrong, or even just not even just being wrong, just accepting different ideas. I'm not the only one with a mind and a heart. I'm not the only one who has a theory or a thought process. I'm not the only one that makes sense in the world, even though common sense people, if anyone who's been having experiences, even if it's something as simple as dumb workers in some grocery stores, common sense is not as common as it has ever been. If there was any time in life where common sense was a thing. But common sense is not common nowadays.
It really isn't. Really isn't.
Yeah, so it's just, going about the sacrifice and using your common sense, recognizing whenever you're wrong, so that you can do right towards yourself and the other person.
Yeah.
So, you have anything you want to?
Some advice to my brothers out there in the struggle who are married, who have their wife pregnant, and she's telling you to go grab a glass of water, and then when you're like halfway from getting back to getting the water,
are you serious?
She tells you to go grab.
Are we really going?
Go back to the kitchen and grab a cookie. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
You want to know
No. But no, for real though, like that is something that you're gonna probably experience, and you're gonna have to learn how to get over yourself and stop going like, she's making me get up and do it. I still do it, but I'm trying my best to do that less and less, and just be like, okay, I'll do it and get it over with. And this sucks. It really does, especially when you got something. You're going to get that to your wife, and she tells you to go back before not even getting that first thing back to her. It is what it is, but you know what? I would not want it any other way, regardless. But yeah, just some advice for that is just, put her before yourself, put your future kid before yourself, put people before yourself in general. Of course, put God above everybody, but put others.
Double D.
Yeah, but just put others before yourself. It's all about being a good person in general, but also being a good husband and a good father. And also just some more advice. Just be sacrificial. The same thing that you said for other people. You just got to be able to sacrifice certain things. Like I've had many times where I wanted to do something and she wasn't able to, and she's like, well, you can go ahead and do that yourself if you want. And there are times where I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to sacrifice this because I'm sure she'd rather be with me than me go do this. And that's like one of the best things you can do is sacrifice. And it's about all I got. Sacrifice and listen to your wife.
And keep the love.
Keep the love. Absolutely.
There's different forms of love.
But we can't go too far into because
no.
we don't want to, and I don't feel like it.
Well, there's some things. Let's just say some things should stay at church. For anyone.
Okay. Let's just okay. We weren't trying to. Let's just. That's the end of this episode.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming on last minute. This was literally just last minute, just shooting this right here, but. Thank you for joining me on this final episode and supporting my podcast and my creativity and my hobbies. It means a world to me, and appreciate all the support.
Yeah, he's a nice one. I'll keep him.